Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth, crypto traders and investors. It's Rod with Pow Group, your home for MJ Stocks, crypto assets, news and interviews. Happy Sunday, it's August 10th. Hope you're having a great weekend. And in this video, we're going to do another rapid fire news update, this time for the period August 2nd to the 8th. And again, it's just a high level overview in case you missed it. I had a ton of computer problems, so it took me a while to get them resolved and to get this video out. Hopefully I get through this. I think it has to do with some Windows updates or something, but yeah, it was like pulling teeth trying to get my computer to turn on. But it looks like it's fixed now. Before we get to it, make sure to smash the like. If you're new, you can subscribe, hit the bell, you'll be notified whenever I post new content. And I make these rapid fire news update videos each and every Sunday. I do the MJ videos, rapid fire updates on every week on Saturday. You can also follow us over on X, formerly Twitter, and the handle for that is @GroupPow. And as always, this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. Also, shout out to all the BTCC copy traders. This is a crypto exchange and platform that we've been using here. It's an affiliate partnership with Pow Group, so you can get 10% off your first deposit. And we now have 22 copy traders following Pow Group right now on BTCC. And I think our record right now is 80%. We have 8 wins and 10 trades, so 2 losses. And you can see here there's a ton of people making some good coin here. And yeah, all you do is you just follow my trades. Once you set it up, you buy when I buy, you sell when I sell, and we've been absolutely killing it and really appreciate all of the support over there. So check out the links in the description and the comment section. You can take advantage of that and the 10% bonus as well as a bunch of other perks. More details if you click the link. Also, China reaffirms no new crypto ban amid rumors. How many times have we seen this kind of headline where China bans, they unban, they ban? I don't think we need to worry about it anymore, folks. We can see through the lines and the smoke and mirrors, and it's just FUD, right? That's all they're trying to do. Also, Vivo Power, which has been known for its XRP treasury strategy, they're actually buying Ripple, not to be conflated with XRP, but the Ripple, the company. They're looking to invest $100 million into Ripple's into that company's private equity, so an investment into Ripple itself, and they're looking at expanding XRP as well. So this is a pretty awesome strategy in my opinion. And Vivo Power, this is the one that got away. I was looking to add it. There was a bear flag saying it was going into like somewhere around the 280. And I was just being very, very patient on that. And it didn't quite get there. And I actually missed the move. Had a huge move on that news. But it's fine. We got XRP spot ETFs here in Canada now. So I've got exposure that way. But I think it is benefiting in the US big time as well. Because it's acting as a proxy because there's no spot ETFs. So it's essentially like a micro strategy of Bitcoin only, but XRP. So very, very volatile nonetheless. Also, Base Network, which is Coinbase's network and blockchain, they suffer the first downtime since 2023 and halts operations after 29 minutes, and it had to do with a sequencing issue. But obviously, no blockchain is perfect, and yeah, there's going to be issues along the way. But the important thing is that it recovered, and Coinbase was also hit by a double blow. Their stock falls on Base outage, and they also announced a $2 billion debt plan, and that had to do with convertible notes. So it was a double whammy, if you will, to the downside. And speaking of Coinbase, this is some bullish news. They enable PayPal integration for Canadian users, so you're now able to buy and sell crypto directly on Coinbase with this PayPal integration. So that is massive in my opinion. E-transfer is easy as well, but PayPal just goes to show that you're getting into that mainstream. The more on-ramps that we have, the better. Also, BDAX, a regulated institutional grade digital asset custodian in South Korea, has added custody support for XRP. You're seeing them all capitulate, right? This is happening on a global level, and you're seeing mass adoption happening right before our eyes. I know the prices haven't fully caught up yet, but believe me, the price will catch up to the fundamentals, and we're going to see the floodgates open very, very soon. Especially now that we're getting crypto legislation in the U.S. And generally, once the U.S. follows, the rest of the world, or once they lead, the rest of the world follows, right? Japan's $214 billion SBI Holdings has filed to launch, this is huge, to launch a Bitcoin and an XRP ETF. So again, folks, it's not a coincidence that we're seeing this coordinated effort around the world at the same time, right? This is the powers that be, the elites, they're preparing for all of this, and we're really on the cusp of something you can't even fathom how big the floodgates are going to be once they're fully open, and we're very close, right? Once we get regulatory clarity, speaking of which, Is that the green light for Ripple's XRP ETFs? Very, very possible, right? Solana, there's a ton of them. There's probably going to be like a dozen or half a dozen at least ETFs that get approved more than likely before the end of 2025, and it's going to be alt season, like all alts, which will basically spark alt season. But yeah, the main thing is that we get market structure. Right? What's a security? What's not a security? What's a commodity? Once we get the Clarity Act and the market structure, that's when the floodgates are going to open up. And obviously, this is going to be the Ripple case ending, which we'll discuss in just a moment. That's going to be a huge impact on getting the ETFs approved. Also, XRP ETF global interest spiked 730%. The global interest in a potential XRP exchange-traded fund ETF has surged, with Google search data showing a 733% increase over the past month. Folks, this is... And there's so many of them. There's like 20. And that's just in the US, right? You see what's going on around the world. In Canada, I think we have like 4 spot ETFs, so it's only going to get bigger, folks. And look at Teucrium CEO. He said their futures-based 2x leverage is the most successful ETF in their 16-year history. Let that sink in for a moment. Canary thinks that XRP is going to XRP ETFs are going to dwarf Ethereum ETFs. So giddy up, folks. It's going to be a fun few months, and yeah, end to 2025. Also, Reuters reports that Ripple buys stablecoin platform Rail, a Toronto-based firm, for $200 million, and it said that they basically account for about 10% of all stablecoin transactions. That is huge. I never even heard of them before, and to have 10%, this just solidifies. A lot of people are saying, well, what about RLUSD? What does this mean? Like, why would they buy a competitor? It's going to further cement it as the leader. So again, this is just another power move by Ripple in their war chest of capital. It's just insane how much money they got. They just settled with the SEC, and they're going to pay a $125 million fine. They acquired Hidden Road, billions of dollars, and then $200 million. It's just like, it's the best company in planet Earth. Like, it's going to be, Ripple will be the most valuable company when it's all said and done. It'll be bigger than Amazon, Apple, Microsoft, all of them. And XRP will be the most valuable digital asset when it's all said and done, and will outpace Bitcoin. I don't need to convince you any further than that. You're going to have to do thousands and thousands of hours worth of research into XRP, which most people won't, so we'll just let time convince you. Also, Trump to sign executive order, which is putting crypto and also private equity into 401ks. This is huge, folks. We're talking trillions and trillions of dollars. Even if just 0.5% of that were to go into this new asset class, it's going to be massive, right? We're talking trillions of dollars, hundreds of billions of that, right? Trillions and trillions of dollars that'll be flowing into crypto. And you got to shout out to this man, James K. Phelan. What a absolute beauty of Phelan law. He's a lawyer. It's almost like he has some sort of notifications enabled with the SEC filings, but he's always on it like white on rice. This guy has been nothing short of amazing for the community, and he has been really advocating for Ripple and XRP and really helping all of us stay, up to date. And hopefully this isn't too distracting at a ambulance or something that's driving by, and I have to keep my windows open. My dog turns into an ambulance sometimes, and it's kind of funny. But yeah, I had to keep my windows open because we had a leak, and yeah, there was a big water leak in my condo. So we got like all these crazy fans running and industrial fans and windows open, and it is what it is. Got to keep them open though. Also breaking, so the parties have filed the joint dismissal of the appeals. The case is over. And I know we've heard it before. Is it over? Is it officially over? I thought it was already officially over. Now it's officially over, right? It doesn't have to be signed off by a judge or anything like that. It's over. So they're going to pay a $125 million fine. And actually there was another ruling that basically the SEC's wiping their hands clean of all wins. So they basically are saying that Ripple can do, like, there's no injunction, there's no, like, basically everything that the SEC had won, they capitulated, and they just said, Ripple essentially can operate as per, they were before. So they essentially had like a 10% win, and now they have 0%, but they do get the $125 million fine. Also, Trident did, in 5 years, folks, that took, like, what a half a decade. It just so surreal to see it end, but awesome at the same time. But guess what? Everybody thinks it was going to explode when it ended. No, it'll be a couple weeks, couple months, and then we're going to kick into high gear. It's going to happen over the next couple of weeks, folks. Even Bitcoin dominance is, the chart's really pointing to like a fall off the cliff moment. And Yeah, with market clarity coming, just strap in, folks. Trident Digital seeks stablecoin licenses in Africa for Ripple USD adoption. So again, folks, worth over $600 million market cap already, almost a $1 billion market cap. It's going to be in like, what was it? Blue Chip had rated them the #1 stablecoin in terms of compliance, and yeah. What more do you need to see? Like the SEC lawsuit, 5 years, an investigation into the company. They didn't find one bit of information that was damning. Like Ripple just operating at the highest standard. And the only reason why people hate on Ripple and XRP is because they're threatened, because they know its mission was to set out to be a better Bitcoin, and they know that it is, right? And that's why they're threatened. That's why they can't stop talking about it negatively and throwing shade on it. If it's so bad, why do you keep talking about it and throwing shade on it? And the more they talk about it and hate on it, you're just, any publicity is good publicity, right? And people like me see through their bullshit. So yeah, don't worry. People like they think we're all so dumb, right? These VCs, these venture capitalists, and the market makers. They just, oh yeah, they'll just believe anything. Well, guess what? Times are friggin' changing, and people call you out on your BS. So it's not. We have the thing called the internet now, and yeah, we can see what they've done in the past, and they're just talking their book, which we'll discuss more on that here with BlackRock and ETF for XRP in just a moment. But El Salvador, very big Bitcoin proponent, plans to launch world's first Bitcoin bank, and it's been really helping their economy. I hope they have a plan for downside. Also, Verb, who I've never heard of, closes $558 million private placement for Toncoin treasury strategy. So this is the first one I've seen for Toncoin. But yeah, we're seeing this all over the place. Like Fundamental Global files $5 billion shelf registration for ETH strategy. You got Bitcoin strategies. It's like not only are governments adding it to their, treasuries and their central banks and whatnot, it's also companies. So, folks, this is insane. 401ks coming. This is the biggest wealth transfer of life, right? We've never seen a wealth transfer like this ever. And people really can't grasp, even myself, like it's hard to grasp what trillions and trillions and quadrillions worth of dollars flowing into a new asset class is going to do. Like we can kind of comprehend it, but I really don't think anybody fully knows. Also, Nature's Miracle announces XRP integration strategy as that trend continues. Weebus International also adds XRP and RLUSD payments to WeTor platform. Folks, you're going to see crypto payments coming to everything. It's going to be on Amazon. It's going to be crypto payments. It's going to be on every major platform. And most of it's going to be done with stablecoins. But XRP for cross-border is going to be the bridge for this one central liquidity pool. And it's going to unlock trillions just in dormant capital like Nostro Vostro. Folks, it's if you really understood what you hold in XRP, you'd wonder if I ever should even sell it. But understanding market cycles, there's going to be a boom and there's going to be a big bust. So just have a plan for all scenarios. Check out my XRP exit plan as well. Just go to YouTube, type in Pow Group XRP exit. It'll be the first one. I go over my entire exit plan with price levels, examples, etc. Also, the SEC continues to shift favorably for the sector. They greenlighted liquid staking, which sent ETH soaring past 4K and spurs broad staking and layer 2 rally. So this is great because typically we want to see ETH run and then that trickles down. You see Bitcoin's big move. We already had that. Then you see Ethereum's big move, and then the rest of the alt market follows, right? So it's a good indication that we're going to see full-blown alt season. I think it's going to happen over the next few weeks and couple of months. Also, Bitcoin sprints north as President Trump taps crypto-friendly economist Stephen Moran as new Fed governor. So, tons of people leaving the Fed. Some people just resigning. Obviously they want to replace Jerome Powell and get him out of there. But overall, the fact, I don't think anybody was surprised at the fact that they were crypto-friendly. It's like, oh, no way. Yeah, we kind of knew that was coming. So, like I said, it's an exciting time. Ethereum transactions hit record high as rally accelerates, so getting over 4,000 was a huge milestone. Also, I think this was just FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. BlackRock confirms no plan for Solana or XRP ETF. Is this a bullish or bearish sign? I'm going to lean on bullish because it's called talking your book. You remember BlackRock was saying that Bitcoin was for money launderers and a big scam? Well, now they manage like $56 billion worth of Bitcoin in an ETF. So I don't think we can really... watch what they do, not what they say, essentially, right? They're just talking their book. Why is a BlackRock executive going to speak at Ripple Swell, BlackRock isn't dumb. We know that Teucrium said it was the most successful XRP ETF. It was their most successful ETF out of any ETF in 16 years. And Canary Capital CEO thinks that it's going to absolutely dwarf Ethereum ETF inflows. So, folks, it's probably going to beat Bitcoin. Like, XRP has been held back. Wait till you see what it's like on a level playing field now that the lawsuit is behind us and we can get back to building and let the free market decide. But in my opinion, there's also some rumors going around that this was not correct, and the leadership changes and whatnot. So I think this is all just them talking their book, saying, we don't have any plans yet, but they're definitely working on it. I mean, it's one of the most successful ETFs ever in the history of ETFs. Why would they not get on board? It wouldn't make any sense. It's BlackRock, folks. But BlackRock's no on XRP ETF might not last as president and ETF Store. Go away, no way. Again, anybody who believes that, yeah, I got an igloo in the Sahara Desert that is just waiting to be sold. Also, Harvard Endowment invests $116 million into BlackRock Bitcoin ETF. So again, mainstream adoption is right at our doorstep. Chainlink breaks out as on-chain reserve ignites bullish momentum. So I'm very bullish on Chainlink. Not financial advice. Don't buy or sell anything based on anything that I say or write. But yeah, Chainlink, very bullish on them. And we had a bull flag that was targeting $21, like $22, and that has since hit as well. So the technicals were lining up there with the fundamentals as well. BitBridge Capital launches a disruptive Bitcoin lending strategy. So this is a plan to disrupt the current Bitcoin lending market with the launch of Bitcoin Respect Loan product. So again, mainstream, we're at the mainstream adoption phase, folks. We're literally weeks away, months away from the biggest wealth transfer that you couldn't even fathom, folks. You're gonna, somebody said it, I can't remember where I heard it from. It was on a X post or something. When you make so much money in crypto that you think it's illegal, that's when the end of the bull market is more than likely going to come in. And it's so true, right? It's like, how am I making all this much money just from hitting a buy button, right? It's, folks, it's the internet of value. You thought the internet of information was big. This is the internet of money. It's way bigger than information. And we're using the internet of information to accelerate the internet of money, which is going to happen at breakneck speed, folks. Breakneck speed. So, again, it's really hard to fathom how quickly this is going to happen and the magnitude of which that it will happen. Also, the U.S. national debt explodes by, what is this, $734 billion in just 1 month as the government begins accepting Venmo and PayPal donations to cut debt. And folks, why do you think they created crypto in the first place, right? Because they know the system is failing. Any fiat currency that's backed by nothing, in my opinion, this was planned since the Nixon days when they took the U.S. dollar off the gold standard. It was doomed to fail. No fiat currency backed by nothing has ever stood the test of time. Every single one of them have failed, right? So if you roll it over its stable coins, which are going to peg to the U.S. dollar, is going to boost its strength. And, they, in my opinion, the U.S. government created Bitcoin, and they created it a thin air. Now it's worth $100 and some thousand a coin. So what better way to pay down the debt when Satoshi is them? And and you're probably like, oh, how does he know all this? It's like, well, I don't, but I'm pretty damn sure. I'm usually correct 95% of the time when my gut feels something. Even Raoul Pal said it, former Goldman Sachs executive and managing partner, I think he was. He said he believes I always thought it was the U.S. government because SHA-256 hash is the NSA and the military grade encryption. And that's what HTTPS is when you go to a website, SHA-256. And Bitcoin's encryption is built on SHA-256. Guess who has the patent to SHA-256? That would be the NSA. But Raoul Pal actually thinks it's the UK government in conjunction, in coercion with the U.S. government. I think it might even be a few governments, to be honest, like a handful or half a dozen or something. Watcher Guru, I've never seen these before, but he did a weekly recap. So I already said 401ks in retirement accounts, SEC and Ripple officially end the legal battle. Executive order by Trump to stop banking discrimination against crypto, religion, politics. Canada loses 40,800 jobs in July, largest monthly decline since C19. Harvard buys, already mentioned that. Crypto czar David Sachs says the executive order President Trump signed this week will give 90 million Americans access to crypto. Also, Bo Hines, I forgot about that. He resigned which isn't a huge deal. He was there for 8 months, got a lot done, and I don't think he was ever going to be like a lifer or anything there. But I think he left to go to a private equity firm, which you'll obviously make a lot more money. 82% of S&P 500 companies beat quarterly estimates despite President Trump's tariffs, and SEC declares crypto liquid staking are not securities. I already mentioned that. Dubai officially approves first crypto options license, and ETH surpasses 4,300 the first time since 2021. Exciting times, folks. All right, make sure to check out the link in the description in the comments section. Like I said, you can get 10% off using the BTCC POW Group affiliate link, and you can get tons of other bonuses as well, and no KYC required. You can set it up in less than like 3 minutes, and it's been operating for 14 years. It's never been hacked, and like I said, you can join us. Come do some copy trading. Just look at our history here. Only 2 losers, and the first loser I was sleeping, and it was only 3%. I did take a 7x leverage on XRP, and got stopped out at 21%. So that ended up being a good stop because it continued to plummet from there. But yeah, 8 out of 10 trades have been green, and like I said, tons of people are making some decent coin here in the couple hundreds of dollars. Most people started with 500. So check out the link in the description, in the comment section, join the other 22 copy traders, and let's go make some money. All right, enjoy the rest of your weekend. It's Rod with POW Group. Thanks again for joining us on the Pursuit of Wealth, and we'll catch you on the next one.